just have to disclaim this. I am not a professional advisor, financial advisor. I have no certifications. I have a degree in finance, but that does not mean I am educated enough to give you stock advice or anything like that. So please do your own research. I just have to disclaim that so I don't get in trouble. But we're going to be talking about the Roth IRA. Roth IRA. And if you have not heard about it, I'm going to teach you the very, very basics today. In today's video, I made a little bit of a PowerPoint. It's not the best. I'm not very artistic. But I'll just try to yap about it as much as I can. I am very passionate about personal finances. So please bear with me if I yap a little bit too much. Let's get right into the basics here. If it'll start. Next page. Alright. Very simple. What is a Roth IRA? Like I mentioned earlier, it is an individual retirement account. Now, what does that mean? That means it is a personal account that you contribute into by yourself, that you can set up anywhere on multiple different brokerages. I have a couple of brokerages listed later in the video, a couple examples of some brokerages that I use, but this one is a personal account. It's not your work 401k, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. It's completely all on your own. And the next point I was going to make, the contributions are made with after-tax dollars. Now, what does that mean? So let's say you get your paycheck. What hits your account after taxes have been taken out, like your Social Security, your Medicaid, or whatever, the Medicaid one, I don't know what it's called actually, and then state income, federal tax, all that crap. Whatever hits your account, that is the post-tax money, so after-tax dollars. That's the money you can contribute to the Roth IRA. You cannot contribute pre-tax dollars to a Roth IRA. That would be a traditional IRA. That's a whole other video I can make. But these are post-tax dollars. And what makes that amazing is when you put in the post-tax dollars, the growth and the withdrawals in retirement are completely tax-free, which is crazy. It's the only time the government doesn't dig their hand in and take your money away. It's too powerful. As you will see later, they do limit how much you can put in there because it is too powerful, of course. But yeah, all the growth you gain from, let's say you're 20, from 20 to 59 and a half, which is when you can pull it out without penalty. Completely tax-free growth, which is insane amount. Like if you're in your 20s, that's the best decade for growth in your life. So please start. I'll get into it more later, but tax-free growth. Oh my gosh, you can't get that anywhere else. And it is available to individuals under certain income limits. Yeah, like I said, they do have to nerf it a bit because it is too powerful. So I believe if you make over $150,000 a year, you can't contribute to a Roth IRA. But there are ways around it with a backdoor Roth IRA. It gets a little bit more complicated, but we're not going to get into that today. Some benefits of a Roth IRA, like I mentioned, tax-free withdrawals in retirement. Now you may be like, Trey, why am I going to want to have all that money when I'm 59 and a half? Would you rather not have that money when you're 59 and a half and be hurting for money? I get it. You want to spend money when you're young, right? 100% get it. It's $7,000 a year to max it out. That's doable. Once your income grows as well with your career, it is doable. It is hard. I get it. A lot of people have a lot of expenses, kids, housing, pets, all that. You don't even need to max it out to gain. I have a calculator later in the video. We're going to play around with numbers just to show you how powerful it can be with minimum $100 a month from 20 and on, how powerful compound interest can be. Another big thing is there's no required distribution. So when you're 59 and a half, the IRS doesn't grab you by the neck and make you pull money out just so they can tax you on it like they do with your regular 401k and regular retirement accounts. They got to make sure they get theirs right. So with the Roth IRA, you can pull out once you're 59 as much or as little as you want. So you can just sit there and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. If you don't need it, let it grow and pass it on to your loved ones. I don't know, that's just something you could do, or let it grow and grow and grow. And when you do want to buy something big, pull it all out at once, right? That's why it's there. It's not going to be your only account. It's going to be one of your retirement accounts. Let me get some water. I'm yapping, I'm getting excited. Yeah, my next point, contributions can be withdrawn. Okay, this one's a little confusing. So, any money that you put in physically, or I guess not physically because it's online, but any money that you contribute, you can withdraw at any time with no penalty. So, let's say you put in $10,000 and it grows to $20,000. You can take your initial $10,000 back out, but not the $10,000 of growth, right? So your initial $10,000, you can pull it out and take it out and not have a penalty. But if you need that extra $10,000, you will take it out. You will have to pay. There will be a penalty for early withdrawal. You don't want to do that, but please, 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 please do not pull money out of your Roth IRA. Please do not, unless it's like a death emergency. It's the last resort, then I guess. But please do not. And if you are a young investor, or if you're young listening to this, and you have not heard of a Roth IRA or started one, please start one. I will show you how to do it later, or I'll explain it how to do it later, but please look into it. Please look into it. And if you are under 18, you can actually have your parents set up a custodial account, and oh my goodness, you could be way ahead of the curve and retire with a lot of money. So let's go on to the next slide. Now, like I said, I have an example, so let's go to the example page. Alright, I'm at the example page now. So I gotta clear this format. I'm not sure why this is already in there, so let's just say we're starting from age. Let's say we're 20 years old. We're single, sure. Annual income, let's just do probably $55,000, right? You're starting at zero in your Roth IRA, zero. And let's say you contribute the maximum amount, $7,000 a year, all the way until 59.5. Oh, since you can't do point, we'll do 60, which is when you can pull it out. 6% is a pretty mild, like very, very safe. 8's pretty average. We'll just go 8. We're not going to go to the 10. We'll go 8, just to assume. If you were to do that, you would retire starting at $20, or $20, 20 years old, contributing $7,000 a year. That's a lot, as a 20-year-old especially, going up. But let's just say you do, right? In this retirement account, you would have $1.9 million. Tax-free growth. Tax-free. That money is all yours. You can take it out. Government can't touch it. They already did before your contributions, but that is the power of compound interest and age. That's why I'm really, really emphasizing, if you are young, please do it. Now let's do it a little bit more reasonable, because when we're 20, we're not going to have $7,000 of disposable income. Most of us aren't. So let's just say you contribute $1,000 a year. That is very doable. Even at only $1,000 a year, which is most people can do that. I'm not going to say everyone, because different situations. You'll end with $279,000. That's crazy. That just shows the power. So let's go a little bit more of an average number. Let's do 4,000. I feel like most of us could do 4,000. 1.1 million dollars, $4,000 a year, from 20 till 60. And like I said, yeah, Trey, I'm gonna be old. I don't want to have all that money when I'm old. Would you rather have the money or not have the money? if you're into investing and you're into your future, you're going to have multiple accounts. Your work 401k match, it's going to be another bunch of money. So don't stress about the age. You will have money. Let's say if you didn't need this account and you wanted to wait till 70 because you have your other retirement accounts, you don't need this one. 2.4. If you 2.4, just sitting there. Let's see what that is at 7,000. $4.3 million. Now, with inflation, yes, it's going to be worth less. Yes, I know, all that stuff. But still, man, $4.3 million. 70's crazy, though, I will admit. So, I have contributed the max ever since I was for two or 3 years now. My first few years, I did not, I was in college, I didn't have that money, so I don't expect anybody to do that when they're in college, unless you're a grinder. But please just start. Alright, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Hopefully that example made sense. Please ask questions down below if you have any questions. I'm super passionate about this. I'd love to help you. Okay. We already touched a little bit on the contribution limits, but it's $7,000 per year maximum. They raised it a couple years ago. They might keep raising it due to inflation and other reasons. Hopefully they keep raising it. But $7,000 right now is the max. That's how powerful it is. They have to max it out. If you happen to be over the age of 50, you can do $8,000 a year to catch up, they call it. Excuse me. And the income limits apply for eligibility. Let me look up those income limits just so I can give you the exact numbers. Okay, so if you make more than $165,000 a year or more and you're single, you can't do it. And for married couples who file taxes jointly, $246,000 is the cap. So I feel like a lot of people can. What is the average percentage of people who make $165,000? Probably not a lot. So a lot of people can contribute. Please contribute. Next slide. Who should consider a Roth IRA? Everybody. Final answer. Every single person who can. Long-term investors who want decades and decades of tax-free growth. Easy. Put it in there. Let it sit. Let it grow. But I'll get into it a little bit more in a second. Those planning for retirement, income diversity, having both taxable and tax-free sources. Yeah, like I said earlier, your work 401k. That'll be you'll get taxed on that when you retire, but this will be tax-free. Roth IRA, 401k, Roth 401k is a whole other story. I know maybe some of you are commenting that right now. There is a Roth 401k, which is what I use in my company, but that's a whole other video. And anyone who has to leave tax-free inheritance to their heirs, you can pass it down tax-free, all that money tax-free. If you never need it, if you never use it, give it to your loved ones, which is what I hope to do someday. That would mean a lot to me. That's one of my goals, is to have a lot of inheritance for my kids if I have kids someday. And then again, everybody should have a Roth IRA. Alright, a big thing to say, key takeaways, but before I get into that, you can't just put the money into the Roth IRA and just let it sit there. You have to actually invest the money when you put it in there. What does that mean? So you set up a Roth IRA brokerage account. It's just like setting up any other account. You'll have a Roth IRA, and then within that account you contribute money, and that money in there you use to purchase funds, and you let those funds grow for years and years and years. Now, this is the part where I just say I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own research, but what I would recommend, S&P 500 index funds, so VOO, that is VOO. Just invest into that, to be honest. Not financial advice. Do research, but it's super safe. You can look into, but I would only do index funds, ETFs in your Roth IRA. I would stay away from single stocks. way riskier, and you don't want that in your retirement account. Save that for a regular account, unless you're really, really confident that, I don't know, like an Amazon will be around for a while, which it probably will be. Whatever. Let's go on to the next thing. Key takeaways. You pay taxes on that money, on your money originally, but once it hits your bank account, that money you can put into the Roth IRA tax-free. The contribution limit's $7,000. Great long-term wealth building tool. Yep, feels like I'm back in college reading off a PowerPoint. It is perfect for young investors in tax planning. Tax planning. Now, the best slide, one of the most fun slides here. Where can you get started? How can you get started? What can you do to get started? So, I have to shout out Robinhood. I just found this out a couple days ago, but Robinhood does a 1% match on all Roth IRA contributions, which is so cool. They do it for free. For free. So all the money you put in, you get 1% on. It's not a lot, but it's free money. Free money. So Robinhood is really, the Robinhood stock has been blowing up lately. May or may not have a lot of it. That's besides the point. But I would recommend Robinhood, to be honest. I might switch mine over because they do an IRA match. If you switch over your IRA. Another reason I would recommend Robinhood is because it is very, very beginner friendly. Very easy. The UI is very good. It's super, super convenient for new traders, new investors. It's very user friendly. And I'm going to link my Robinhood referral thing down below. And if you sign up and you connect your bank account, you don't even have to make a deposit. We both get a free stock. So you get a free stock, I get a free stock. I've done this with my friends. I've gotten up to like $15 a stock before, which is pretty cool. So you can start your profile or start your investment account with that. You can get in there, get your free stock, sell it, and put in your Roth IRA. I would recommend doing that. So yeah, Robinhood I recommend Robinhood a lot. Just for beginners, it's super good. Now, Fidelity. That's actually what I'm using currently. Fidelity. And with Robinhood, there's no commission fees either. Except for crypto. If you start investing in crypto, there's a little bit more fees with that, but that's a whole other video. Fidelity. I use that. That's what I've been using. That's where a good amount of my money is. My Roth IRA is there. My regular brokerage account where I invest into stocks and ETFs and index funds. I got my emergency fund in there. I got multiple accounts. Fidelity holds mostly all my money. Fidelity's a little bit less beginner friendly. It's not complicated by any means. Very safe, very backed. A lot of people use Fidelity. So if you want something that a lot of people use, I would try Fidelity as well. Definitely recommend both Robinhood and Fidelity. Both great. And there's many other brokerages as well. You can start a Roth IRA in. Some examples like Schwab's really good. Webull is on the come up. They have a lot of intro discounts and intro deals, matches, and all that. It is not European. It is. I don't think it's U.S. country or company though. So I don't know. And then like T. Rowe Price is another one. Vanguard is good. So there's a lot of options. I would do your own research. But like I said, I'm gonna link you my Robinhood link if you want to get started. Go for it. Feel free to use the link. If not, all good. Just thought I'd put that out there for y'all. Just so it would be get started with a little bit of free stocks if you're interested. And that's it. That's the end of the video. So please invest in a Roth IRA if you have not. Talk to your parents if you're young. Talk to somebody. Get it started. Drop comments down below if you have any questions. Seriously, I'm willing to answer anything as long as it's not gonna get me in trouble. But please let me know if you guys like this kind of video. Drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you want to see more and what other investment stuff would you like to see. Finance stuff. Thank you guys so much for tuning in if you watched it. Deuces.